Don't forget to check out sportscases.com for unique phone cases. Use promo code WILSON10 at checkout for 10% off your order. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more awesome videos. Stay tuned.
How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. Derrick Rose is the best bargain in the NBA right now, playing like he's worth $25 million after multiple amazing performances in the early part of the season, making $2.1 million on the year. He's having a major bounce back season so far. There are many factors why free agents sign with a particular team, with the combination of a good contract, believing they're a good fit for the team, and having the chance to contend in the playoffs, while others don't mind being on bad teams as long as they get some playing time. I'm sure LeBron James is happy signing with the Lakers, looking to earn a spot in the postseason in the tough Western Conference, but other key role players are not satisfied with their signings, wishing they went somewhere else or should have stayed with their former teams. Here are 6 NBA players regretting their free agency decisions this season. Let's start off with Carmelo Anthony, who didn't even last a full month with Houston. Recently a member of 3 different teams within a month span, Melo is sadly the laughingstock of the NBA. OKC made a smart decision to eliminate $107 million off the team's 2018-19 payroll and tax bill. By not refusing a bench role, OKC opted to focus more on Steven Adams and forward Jeremy Grant, now a way better defensive team without Anthony. After signing a buyout from the Hawks, Melo's $2.4 million veterans minimum signing with Houston was his choice, hoping to provide a spark for Paul and Harden. He also met with Miami and considered signing there. Even though he finally accepted to come off the bench, the loss of Trevor Ariza and Luke Bahamute was too big of a gap to fill. With the team off to a horrendous start, struggled on defense. It wasn't totally his fault. Needing a fresh start, Melo was the odd man out, finding himself yet again in a losing position with the team, starting 4-7. Perhaps Mike D'Antoni has something to do with not wanting Anthony there after Melo ran him out of New York 6 years ago. Miami's not off to a good start either. If Melo would have went there instead, you can't blame too much on him. Michael Beasley. After showing some positive signs for the Knicks last season, B's shown glimpses of his potential. After being labeled as a huge bust as the former 2nd overall pick, some nights he looked like an offensive machine for the Knicks, dropped 30 plus a couple times, put up 13.2 points in just 22 minutes, his highest average since the 2010-2011 season, missed a bunch of games this season due to family issues, played only 4 games thus far, only 5 minutes of action, averaging only 2.5 points. If you have LeBron on your team alongside Ingram, Kuzma, and other young guys that want to run, Beasley will simply be left out of the rotation, only plays in garbage time. It doesn't seem like he'll be contributing much with his 1-year $3.5 million deal. His other choice was the Thunder. Even though he still won't be getting much playing time there anyway, at least he would put up better numbers and play at least 15 minutes a game. As the season progresses, I expect Beasley to continue to ride the bench unless an injury happens. Seth Curry, the younger brother of Steph Curry. After missing all of last season, undergoing surgery on his left tibia, Curry agreed to a 2-year $5.6 million deal with the Blazers, including a player option for the 2nd season. Despite battling with a day-to-day minor knee injury, Curry's played 15 games, has not looked like his former self, putting up only 4.6 points in under 17 minutes of action. Just 2 seasons ago, he had his best season with Dallas, averaging nearly 13 points in 70 games played. Hasn't made much of an impact at all with Portland, who will need him to play more minutes if they want to keep winning. Making 16 of his 33 3-pointers on the season, his shooting stroke will be critical as the season goes on. Teammate Evan Turner is listed as the team's backup point guard, primarily handles the playmaking duties for the 2nd unit, making Curry the shooting guard offensively. Sharpshooter Nick Stauskas has also been providing more than Seth this season. Kyle OQuinn, the former Knicks, signed a 1-year $4.4 million deal with Indiana. Hasn't done much at all, only averaging 6 minutes and a career-low 2.5 points his first 12 games, averaged over 6 points, 5 rebounds in 15 minutes played during his 3 seasons at the Mecca. Initially, head coach David Fizdale wanted OQuinn back to serve as a mentor for guys like Noah Vonleh and Mitchell Robinson. Kyle didn't want to leave his hometown, made the toughest decision of his life, wanted to be a part of something bigger than next year's draft. But who can blame him, as he never made the playoffs in his first 7 seasons, was on some awful Magic teams as well. Now he's out of the Pacers rotation, with second-year power forward TJ Leaf placed ahead of him. Only scored a combined 2 points his last 7 games, not what he expected, as the 28-year-old is the 12th man off the bench, likely won't be too happy getting so little playing time with the Pacers. If he was still with the Knicks, OQuinn would at least average 16 minutes a game. Yogi Ferrell. In July of 2018, Ferrell initially agreed to a 2-year $5.3 million deal to resign with the Mavs. Promised as the backup 2 guard, made a name for himself as an undrafted free agent after being waived by Brooklyn, averaged double-figure points during his 2 seasons with Dallas, played 28 minutes a game a season ago. After changing his mind during free agency, the Indiana native agreed to a 2-year $6.2 million deal, instead signing with Sacramento, a guaranteed second-year contract where the Mavs front office was unwilling to match. His playing time declined this season, averaging less than 16 minutes a game. Started 2 of 11 games early on, only putting up 5.8 points on less than 41% shooting. Dallas is missing Ferrell a lot more than Seth Curry and Doug McDermott, as Yogi was also a solid defender, was utilized in many situations to help the team last season. Even though it's still very early on this season, Yogi still has a chance to prove himself, depending how many minutes coach Dave Yeager will play him. Monroe played on 5 different teams in 5 seasons. The 6'11 journeyman was left out of the rotation for the Raptors. Despite his team being on top of the Eastern Conference, his role with Toronto has been unclear, playing less than 8 minutes a game in 10 appearances so far. His averages of 3.7 points, 3 rebounds was not what he expected. Even after signing his 1-year $2.1 million minimum and his low style of play in the post doesn't fit in the modern NBA, it won't be a surprise if the Raptors trade the big man, having little to no use for his old-fashioned game. Last season, he was able to provide a spark off the bench for Boston, averaged over 10 and 6, put up 11 and 8 in the first 20 games with Phoenix, posted double-figure points in 7 straight seasons. Monroe's by far having his worst year so far, not even seeing the floor at times. Expected to be the backup for Jonas Valanciunas, he hasn't helped the team but also hasn't hurt the team. I expect the 28-year-old to be somewhere else next season, where he'll play more minutes and have a better impact. My most honorable mention, Jeff Green to the Wizards. The 32-year-old small forward was born and raised just outside the DC area, played his collegiate ball at Georgetown. His play hasn't been an issue, provides a solid spark off the bench, averaging over 10 points a game, seeing 24 minutes. But being part of the dysfunctional, lousy Wizards franchise, having heated verbal altercations with teammate John Wall at practice, his team will be stuck disliking each other until somebody gets traded. Now with the Dwight Howard off-court fiasco a distraction, this is the last thing you want if you're currently a member of the Washington Wizards. Yikes, Green definitely didn't sign up for all this drama. I didn't mention guys like Jahlil Okafor, Alfred Payton, or Michael Carter-Williams, cause regardless of where they went, they were not going to be good anyway. Thank you so much for watching this video. I talk NBA comparisons, amazing storylines, NBA history, and anything basketball that will interest you. If you love the NBA, subscribe for more content, more great stuff coming soon. See you next time.